Alexander Cross, criminal defense here in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you'd like to learn more about criminal defense, be sure to subscribe to our channel, Law Offices of Cross and Associates. So we received an interesting inquiry here on our YouTube channel. Let's see, this has to do with somebody who was arrested at his house for a DUI. DUI attorney, Palo Alto. Accused of drunk driving, Palo Alto. Criminal attorney, Palo Alto. Let's see here. Last month, I went out to drink with my friends and I drove my dad's vehicle. I don't have a driver's license. I got home. 2 hours later, the police arrived with a report of hit and run, but I had no accident. The car I was driving was fine, but my dad told them that I had driven the car and I was arrested. Well, that stinks, but first of all, let's go back to that hit and run. What'd you hit? Did you hit a wall, a tree, a ditch, what? I mean, because if, let's say you hit another car, there should be damages on your car. Obviously, the police didn't see it. So if you have no damages on your car, they look at the car and they say, no, this thing's perfectly fine. Do you own any other cars? Do you have any other cars registered under your name? It's like, no, this is the car. Well, then this is going to have difficulty showing that hit and run. Maybe it was somebody else. All right. And then let's talk about the drunk aspect. Well, may have been drunk. Maybe. But the police arrived at the home 2 hours after he arrived. He could have been drinking once he got home. See, this is the reason why if the police ask him, well, were you drinking beforehand? You don't want to respond to these questions. These are incriminatory questions. Remember, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you do or say will be used against you in court. Obviously, if the police get to the house and you're drinking tequila at the house, well, it's like, well, that's a problem 2 hours later because there's no way that they could show blood alcohol level or and not only that, but they wouldn't be able to show that alcohol was impeding your ability to safely operate the motor vehicle, so they'd have extreme difficulty showing DUI if you open your mouth, basically. So you don't want to respond to any of their questions. You respond to their questions, you're liable to potentially get charged with a DUI, although even if you spoke to the police in this instance, they would have difficulty because, like I said before, 2 hours have already passed. And like I said, if the car is not damaged, how are they going to be able to show in any way, shape, or form that alcohol was impeding your ability to safely operate a motor vehicle? Now, I'm going to put that to the side and let me focus on another charge, which is driving without a license, which is a violation of Vehicle Code Section 12500. But the other one was driving your father's car. The question is, did your dad give you permission to drive the car? See, because you don't have a license. If your dad gave you permission to drive the car, your dad could be charged with a violation of Vehicle Code Section 14604, which is letting somebody without a license drive a car. That's a misdemeanor, believe it or not, that carries up to 6 months in the county jail. Now, if you didn't get permission from your dad, you took the car without his permission, we have another problem because that's a violation of Vehicle Code Section 10851. That could be charged as a felony or a misdemeanor, depending on the circumstances. If it gets filed as a felony, that carries up to 3 years in state prison. If it gets filed as a misdemeanor, it carries up to 1 year in the county jail. I think really the only charges that will really be able to stick in a situation like this would be obviously driving without a license just because your dad dimed you out. But the question I have is, are they going to go with the 10851, which is driving without your dad's permission, or maybe charge your dad with the 14604, which is rare, but it does happen because he gave somebody without a license permission to drive his car. Regardless, if you'd like to learn more about criminal defense, be sure to subscribe to our channel, Law Offices of Cross and Associates. But if you've been accused of a crime and need representation in court, call us at 1-800-862-7677. Once again, 1-800-862-7677. On our next video, we're going to be discussing the case of somebody who was arrested for possession of a firearm while being on probation for domestic violence. DUI attorney, Palo Alto. Criminal attorney, Palo Alto. Accused of driving drunk, Palo Alto.